feel like you should pick up on?
Um, I feel like I got the markings like all sorted out with. I'm really good at like avoiding the camera. Like I know
Yeah.
the presence, but I'm like, all right, it's right there. And when I look back at the video, I'm like, I knew it was there, but you can see me not even paying attention to it. Like so, I feel like my awareness with the camera is all
Yep.
good. Um, the what's it called? The thing what we did yesterday, the exercise where we had to just
So
carry on
you're
the
just that's
conversation.
camera awareness stuff. Yeah.
Good with that. The scene where we did where we had to the scary scene what we did.
Yep.
Good, but I feel like I could have pushed it more. One thing which I feel like that I really need to improve on is do emotion scenes, like channel that story behind
Yeah.
the character a lot. Yes, it's good. Like I know the lines, and I can learn them quickly, but I need to like channel that emotion quick enough because, as you said, the director could be having a stressful day. It's like, oh, I just want to get this over with. Come on, just
Yeah,
one
yeah.
take. I feel like if I was to do that, I'll probably take like 10 takes or so.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Well, that's perfectly reasonable. Yeah, dude. I mean, I agree. I feel like technically you've got it pretty much down. I don't think it's sort of one of those things that you learn to then throw away
Mm.
because you don't want to be thinking about it when you're in it. So now you've got it. I think as long as you keep just redoing it occasionally, just having like refresher moments, um, I don't think you need to think about it too much. Just being aware of the cameras, where you have to finish your positioning, all that stuff. I think that should be roughly there now. So now you can just throw it away. Just turn up in these situations and know it without thinking about it. So that's a really important thing to get out of the way, and I think that's gone very well. Um, in terms of so it's an interesting one in terms of channeling the script and the character work into what you're doing. Yeah, it's like you say, you learn the lines really quickly, but if you learn them quickly and deliver them quickly, then there's nothing underneath them. And so I think that you strike me as somebody that probably does think about who they are and how they feel and all that stuff. But just make sure you're doing that work, because otherwise you're just another actor saying words in order.
Exactly. Like, I know I want out.
Which you'll do well, but there'll always be someone who's built a bit of depth under it and just compels us to watch a bit more. But that's another thing that you've got. You've got a lot of advantages. You're very watchable. You're very likable. I think people will respond really well to you if you come in and you're just as you are, very charming, very nice, very personable, very humble. People will go, I want to work with this kid, and then you got to be good. Then you got to be able to do exactly what you're talking about. Step in, channel what you've built about who this person is straight into whatever the scene is, and be able to function in this. And if you do all that work, you might just be fine. Because I think it's come quite a long way. I think when you started out doing this, you were still likable, you were still watchable, but it was quite performative. It was quite theatrical.
I was more like used to like being on like theatre, all that sort of stuff. Like I haven't done any camera work. I remember the first lesson we did, you put us in a corner and you're like, okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to act it for screen or producer and all that sort of stuff? And then you made us do the simple markers where like you walk there, then walk there, then walk there. Just
we started all the way back there, and think of how far it's come since then. How like complex the complexity or is, and none of it's troubling you that much. So now it's really making sure that you are truthful when you're in there. Theatre, or particularly musical theatre, is stepping into performance and doing it brilliantly. It's a different craft. Film, stepping into truth. And let us do the work about telling the story. And that's the thing. So now what you're doing is way more thoughtful, like way more internalized, and that's great. That's good. That's a different craft, and you're understanding and finding the different ways to deliver this particular branch of the craft. So that's it. Yeah, as long as you can make sure that, as you say, the work that you do is in here, when you step into here, when you step into film tech, and you can do it without thinking about it. The camera being there is just a normal thing. You just get it, you understand that bit of your brain is like, yeah, so I'm you figured that, and then you can just get involved and immersed in this without thinking too much about this. Occasionally I think it's still in your head a little bit as you're like moving around, and don't think about it. I think you're at a point now where it'd be better if you missed it than think about it, because you're not going to miss it that often. So at this point, allow yourself to just be, to understand that you know what you're doing. You have, you can behave like a professional now, and immerse in what you're doing, and I think you'll be fine. If you can, one of the things we look for when we're casting stuff is, is this person good? Are they special? But do I want to work with them? That's important too. Are they going to be cooperative? Are they going to be someone that helps? They're going to be someone that's really good to work with, and you've got all of that going on. So you just got to make sure that what you deliver matches that, and you might just do all right. So keep doing it. This stuff does go away. This stuff does like if you leave it for 6 months, it's a bit like it's a little bit like 6 months away from the gym. You know what I mean? You go back and you go right, pick up the same weight. And you can't. It's kind of the same. So just do it. Just do it here and there.
It definitely did leave me last year, 6 months ago. When we had that long break.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely did happen to me. When I got back, I was like, wait, I used to do this, I used to do that, and everything's just gone.
Yep.
So I've learned from my mistakes now to just store it in there. I had to do sticky notes. I just write them down. I just go over and all that sort of stuff now. And even now, it's still a break. I'm still gonna work hard. I'm not.
Yeah, do it. Keep working hard. Too many people.
That just
try it. So be the one that's done the work. And that's the right thing. Chris is a few years older than you. He was studying here, and he came to Covent Garden because he felt like he hadn't studied for a while, and he was such a very good actor. And when he got there, first 2 or 3 sessions, he was a mess. It had all gone. Ability to do everything had gone. It came back quickly, if 9 hours as quickly over 3 sessions. But then shortly after that, he booked his first film. So it's just as well that because otherwise that would have been him at work, not finding anything, not being comfortable again, losing confidence because of that. So don't do that. Just make sure that you just keep it alive, keep the craft going. And then you will continue to up your ability to feel truthful and immersed in the scene, the more you do it. But you've certainly done enough and got to an ability level where you can just go, right, I'm just going to run different scenes, different genres, and just do it. And if you have a love for it, it won't even be a chore. You know what I mean? It won't be a job. It'll be something you want to do. So that's what I would do.
Cause that's why I see acting. If people start getting oh, I gotta come into college and just do this and that, it's well, you might as well not choose it then. I see it as a fun sort of activity. If you don't like it, then why are you here, bro?
If you don't love it, then don't do this. Get a job in a bank where you're definitely gonna get paid. Go and hate that instead. At least you're definitely getting paid. This is for this because of how difficult it is, how intricate it is, how risky it is. This is only for those that are really, really into it. And even for some of them, they'll never kind of get there. So it's a case of you've got to be into it, you've got to be dedicated, you have to be focused, and then you've got to be wanting to do things that are special. And that only happens when you're comfortable, you're well researched, and you're ready to step in and be filmic and truthful with whoever you're playing. And then you never know, it might just work out. But that's it, dude. Yeah, no complaints at all. No complaints at all. You've done great.